Venture Taranaki, the region's development agency, has been helping landowners experiment with different land uses as part of its Branching Out trial. I spoke with the project lead to learn more.
Kia ora, Sarah. My name is Michelle Bauer and I'm the project manager of Branching Out. Venture Taranaki is the regional development agency here, and so we are a council-owned organisation, and we, I suppose, work on behalf or in service of our community here, specifically looking at direct economic impact, jobs, investment and the like. And Branching Out is a food and fibre value chain diversification project that we're running in Taranaki.
And can you tell me how the Branching Out trials came about? What was it that drove them?
Well, Branching Out was actually an output of our region's two strategic plans. So that is Tapawairoa and Taranaki 2050. Really looking at how we can encourage high-value, low-emissions opportunities in our region that are really inclusive and that all can be involved in. Trials are one component of what we do, but our focus is on value chain diversification. So we're not just looking at land use, but we're also looking at the way that we can capture value in region. And so that could be through processing, it's through manufacture, and it's through development of products and IP here. So the trials, we're now in our sort of practical implementation phase, and trials are obviously a really important part of that. So we've identified a variety of venture opportunities that are really market and consumer-led. So we're looking to identify opportunities for our region that can be pursued at scale, which have got a place in the future. And so we are focused on functional botanicals, so that's for supply into the natural health products industry as medicinal plants, as well as into food and I suppose even beverage application. We're also looking at hemp fibre for construction purposes, and then we also have a high-value food crop rotation, which also incorporates pasture and some fibre crops as well.
Obviously, Taranaki is known as kind of dairy country, and obviously that's a very big part of the regional economy there. Why is it important to look at diversification, particularly as you've touched on from a whole value chain perspective?
We're looking at ways that we can support the resilience of our farming businesses. And so, moving away from putting all eggs into one basket and really looking at how we optimize land use. And a lot of our trials here are actually run on either underutilized or underperforming land. So it's opportunities that can be pursued in addition to the dairy operations. We're also looking at ways that we can support our wider industries here, such as our engineering sector, to look at, ventures and opportunities for the future and how they can also add resilience to their businesses.
Have you found any challenges in this process, or have there been anything that surprised you in your learnings?
Through our trials, I think certainly how prolific the weed growth is in our region has taken us all back. So that's really reinforced to us the need to sort of be prepared prior to starting planting or to starting any horticultural opportunity in our region or moving out of pasture. That's been a big learning for us, and we have got a lot of information that we are able to share with those in our community who are interested in taking forward some of the crops that we're focused on.
What comes next for this project?
Well, we're not just working on crop trials, we've also been looking at processing and how we encourage processing to occur in region. We've been fortunate to secure funding to stand up pilot-scale processing facilities linked to a couple of our ventures. And so that is our primary focus now, and we're tasked with having those up and running by the end of the year. Of course, that's just for pilot scale, so we are very focused on commercial scale production, and so what comes next, and the investment models that might underpin that. We've always taken a very product-led approach, so we're continuing to work on our product development, and we obviously aren't just working in isolation on that. We've got some fantastic partners, be it Massey University and industry partners from within region and beyond Taranaki. Working in collaboration with our trialists, we have been able to stand up crops that we've been able to actually process and present raw materials that can be used in high-value products, and working with our industry here. And so that's been a huge milestone for the project, because we are within 18 months, and with our trialists support, we've been actually able to take, they've grown through to a product. And so at the end of last year, we were able to incorporate Angelica that had been grown into a gin that was made locally by one of our gin companies, Juno Gin, as well as into a perfume. So the essential oil that was extracted from the Angelica that was grown has been made into a perfume by a high-end perfumery here in Taranaki called The Virtue. And so that also has just reinforced the potential of the crops that we're growing. These are really high-value opportunities that we are pursuing. And it's just made tangible, I suppose, the project and what we're hoping to achieve.
I've been hearing some very good things about some of the garlic that's been grown as part of these trials.
Yes.
What have you been hearing from the market, or what have you been learning about the other side of the value chain?
So garlic is one of the crops that we've been able to take through to kind of retail channel supply, and it's been really hugely exciting for us. We have been able to deliver high-grade garlic that can be sold through supermarkets, and so our first consignment was sold over the Easter period in our local New World. And we've had really great feedback, whether it's about the flavour of the garlic, how easy it is to peel, the size of it. So we're getting really great consumer feedback, primarily from customers who are looking for quality garlic. They're looking for locally grown, and sort of moving away from Chinese import garlic, usage of Chinese imported garlic. Our trialists have just been hugely involved throughout, and we couldn't be more grateful for the effort that they've put in with maintaining their sites through to learning more about crops that, have never been grown commercially in New Zealand. We are starting to work on how our next steps, which is really looking at how we can work in a more cooperative or collaborative way with our growers. And we're just seeing really great, the feedback from them has been really encouraging, and we're looking forward to what comes next.
That was Michelle Bauer from Venture Taranaki I was speaking to. You can find a link to a previous story about one of the trialists, organic dairy farmer Janet Fleming, on our website, rnz.co.nz/countrylife.